Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Under the Ring podcast. We're a little short-handed tonight, but that's all right. We're going to be okay. We'll kick up things off with me and the man, Mitch Hennessy.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the most electrifying sports podcast in sports entertainment. Of course, I am your boy, Mitch Hennessy. For anybody who's seen the movie Long Kiss Goodnight, you know who Mitch Hennessy is. He's the man. He's the myth. He's the legend. I am joined, as usual, by our producer, my boy from North Augusta, South Carolina. He is known as Mongo. I believe he's a tag champion right now. I can't even remember who's the champions anymore. I can't even lie to you.
It's been so long.
I know I don't have a belt. I know that.
Yeah.
So
We didn't even get to do the Impact stuff, so whatever.
yeah,
I will say though, I looked at what I had for predictions for that show. I only missed one, so I'll call myself the unofficial world champion.
No, what I will call you is the no. I'll call you the tag champ because I believe that's what you were last time.
I'll take it.
You were the tag champ. Like Mongo said, we're a little short-handed for right now. We may have some people pop on. We may not. If they don't pop on, we'll just have a shorter podcast. Don't worry. We're still entertaining. We're still here. And we're still pretty. And if you don't think so, fuck you. We'll jump into a little bit of news. I guess the biggest news around the sports entertainment world, wrestling, would be El Idio, Andrade Almas.
Woo!
Challenging the belt collector, the cleaner, Mr. Kenny Omega, for the AAA belt at Triple Mania.
Now hold the fuck up.
Oh.
Just in time.
Ladies and gentlemen, making a rare appearance because he told us he wasn't feeling well. So the fact that he's here, we're grateful for that. Coming to us from the GA. You're the champ or the tag champ? Which one? The champ?
The champ.
Oh, okay. The champ of the podcast predictions. Give it up for Luchasaurus. Give it up for Justin Lesnar.
What's up, boys? I'm a little under the weather, but I didn't want to miss the podcast tonight, or at least a little bit of it. I'm gonna hop on for a little while and talk some wrestling. And we had a lot go on the last couple weeks.
Yeah, we had a lot going on. So much that I don't even know if we can even remember everything that fucking went on. Like, it was a lot. But we were just getting ready to talk about the big news of Almas challenging Omega for the AAA title. Now, even though Almas has been in New Japan and of course Omega was there, it appears they never fought.
Gosh, that's gonna be such a good match.
It appears they have never fought. So La Sombra has never fought the cleaner. So that is going to be a fucking blockbuster. Well, that is going to be a hell of a match.
I think back to the NXT Almas, because obviously we haven't seen Almas wrestle in like a year, it feels like. But like NXT Almas, when we got to watch those matches, was it Gargano and him and Drew, when he had that run with the title, those were some of the best matches we've seen in NXT, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. That match with somebody put up a post in one of our groups about the best NXT match, and I had the Almas and Gargano match on that list, without a doubt.
That was one of my favorite matches. Honestly, I'm an NXT fan, but like there was a period there where like I wasn't watching like every week or whatever, but like I'd make sure to tune in for the takeovers because the takeovers are the best thing in wrestling. And I remember like not really being in the loop there, and then I watched that match and I was like, all right, fuck it, I got to watch every week now. Because that was one of the best matches I've seen. And so, like, if we get that Almas versus Kenny, they're gonna absolutely tear the house down.
That was what, Philadelphia?
I believe so. I'm not gonna lie. I became a I must watch NXT every week person once my man El Vagabondo got on there. When El Vagabondo got on there, that made me want to watch every single fucking
Brooklyn is Brooklyn 3.
Ooh, you know what? That was a good fucking show. That had the Era against the Authors of Pain, Dream against Cassius Ohno, Ember losing to Shayna, and Aleister Black versus Adam Cole.
Mm.
I'm gonna go back and watch that show because like everyone remembers it for the main event, but that Black versus Cole match must have been incredible.
Yeah, it had to have been. It had to have been.
Speaking of Andrade's stuff outside of the WWE, he also announced that he'll be working with Alberto El Patron this summer. It'll be Alberto's, I think, his first match back since I don't know if he's had anything since Impact since he
what kidnapped and beat somebody up and raped him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, that one of the people that accused him
Understall
backed out. Yeah. So I'm excited about the Kenny match. I could give a rat's ass about the other one because fuck that guy. But the Kenny thing's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real exciting. Like y'all said, NXT Andrade. I didn't get to watch a lot of Andrade before NXT,
right?
And like a lot of us have said before he got Zelina with him when he was doing the whole like sombrero and suspenders gimmick. No one really liked him that much. It was just seemed kind of
it was a joke gimmick.
Yeah, it was. There was a point where we were saying, man, Noah Jose is a bit better than Andrade at this point,
right?
And then all it took is a little bit of attitude. Little change in character, just a tweak, and he was on top. It was quick, and I want to see that. I do.
Well, I think that speaks to, and we've talked about it numerous times on this podcast, how important a manager can be to a person. That looks good. Okay.
Sponsor us. Bronx Brewery. I was there today. Bronx, you know what? I don't mean to cut you off. I was there today. That is a pretty awesome spot. It's an outdoor brewery. They have their own special brews and blends. This one is pineapple, mango, and orange.
That sounds so good.
And they are also partnered with another little like restaurant pop-up shop called Empanology, where they specialize in empanadas.
Oh shit!
I love a good empanada. We recently got a restaurant here in Macon that just started doing some empanadas. I got to send you that picture later. They got a whole roasted chicken that you can buy, and just they sit it on your table. It's got rice and cheese coming out of the chicken. It's just it.
I had a Californication empanada today. Chicken, avocado, onion, tomato, mozzarella.
So welcome to Talking with Our Mouths Full. It's going to be a podcast about food with me, Greg, and Kenny.
Sorry. I digress. What I wanted to say, Bronx Brewery, I had a fun time at your place. Now sponsor us. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need to do. But you're absolutely right. Almost getting that little attitude switch. But that goes for a lot of different characters too. Like if you think about with Nakamura, look how long we were saying that Nakamura, even though he was being cheered as a face, you were like, yo, Nakamura is technically a heel with that little slick shit that he do, that little slick smile that he do. And just like that, they were able to switch him around and have him become a heel. Also joining us from Cincinnati, Ohio, the teacher man, Mr. Mr. Chet Lemon, folks. Chet Lemon. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Chet might be the other tag team champ. I think it's a 3-man tag team champ situation, I believe.
Let's go with that. Yeah.
Wait, nope. As a matter of fact, nah. It's because he said that. That's how I know his punk ass ain't got a belt. Yeah. Just because he said that. That's how I know he ain't got a belt.
Like 6 months. I honestly don't remember. I honestly don't remember. But you know what? I'm gonna claim it. Shit. Anybody else remember? I'm gonna claim it.
I'm not gonna give it to you.
Well,
I know you said that.
It's definitely a 3-way tag champ, and I know Greg is one of them.
Right. I know Mongo is one of them.
Actually, no. I am.
Wait, is it you, Matt, and Tito that are the champs now? Because Greg finished last at Mania.
Did I finish last at Mania?
I think you did. Well, you were last after night one.
I can't remember. Honestly, look, no one.
We gotta go back and look. We gotta go back and look. We
We'll
gotta
ask Tino later.
Right now, fuck it.
Right.
So yeah, that's the stuff for Mike. We're talking about Andrade. He's going to be fighting Kenny Omega at Triple Mania. And he's also going to be fighting Alberto Del Rio El Patron during the summer. One of those we care about, one of those we don't.
Yeah. Fuck.
Feel free to fill that in.
But you know what, though? This is so good for Andrade. It's so good for him. I'm glad he's in a position where he's get to showcase his talent. You know what I mean? Instead of just being held hostage. And hey, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a great year for him. It's gonna be a great year for him.
Speaking of, we were also talking about NXT. Speaking of NXT, another big piece of news that's going around is it looks like NXT is building a working relationship with MLW.
Good.
That's gonna be a good. You guys know since I first told you guys about the story that I've only been talking about one person coming over, that Samoan werewolf, that Jacob Fatu. If we can get Roman's little cousins, the Samoan werewolf, to come over, beat down NXT, and then show up on the main roster. Look at his older brothers, Jimmy and Jay. Like, what are y'all doing being his bitch? And then go up to Roman and snuff. Ooh, we could have a family affair.
that
WWE. I just wrote you a whole story. I just wrote you what to do. Bring that man over and do exactly what I said, and you can let everybody watch.
Just that. Don't extra add any extra shit to it. Don't try to make it a little fancy. Just real simple. There it is. That's something people have been wanting for a long time. Ever since Jacob Fatu really took over MLW. Mm-hmm. And if this is real, it appears to be. It looks like it's a real thing. There are a lot of guys in MLW I'd love to see work with WWE, but he is the number one.
Yeah.
So far and above.
But my question for y'all, MLW's been working with Impact as well. Would that cease that relationship if they start working with WWE?
No.
Ooh, depends on what kind of deal it is.
Because the deal I've heard is that it's going to be very similar to how they used Evolve as like a breeding ground for.
Not really. What's going to happen is, from what I've seen, is MLW is going to get a lot of talent that's not really used on NXT.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like they want to use it like they did with Evolve is what was going around.
Give their own guys some shine somewhere else.
Yeah, like their wrestlers wouldn't necessarily come to NXT. The NXT people would go there.
But Evolve was so small that WWE wanted buying them out.
Right.
Yeah, WWE isn't going to buy out MLW.
MLW's now are they on Vice? They're on TV now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Court Bauer's doing a lot of stuff with them. This is close to like a legit working relationship with like two big companies. Yeah. Because of WWE and MLW. Like MLW is not the biggest company, but they're one of the wrestling companies that have a show on cable TV.
Yeah, I mean they're easier to watch than Impact.
That's for damn sure.
And speaking of Impact and easier to watch, I'm glad you mentioned that, Justin. According to the numbers, as much as we've been bitching about this working relationship with AEW, Impact Rebellion put up the highest numbers it has put up for pay-per-views since the 2000 days when they exploded and popped on the scene then. Since the early 2000s. So as much as we was bitching, it did do the main purpose. It got eyes on Impact.
It did the trick.
How they went about it sucked.
Yeah, we'll get into that after the news. All in all, it was a really great show. I thought from top to bottom, one of my favorite shows of the year so far.
Great show.
As far as that, actually, I got some a bit on that. Booker T was on the Hall of Fame podcast he has, and he was talking about AEW and Impact relationship. For those of you that don't know, I don't know how you don't know if you're watching this, Kenny Omega beat Rich Swann for the AEW and Impact World Championships. So he's now Impact's champion. Rich Swann is nowhere to be seen right now. He wasn't on last Impact.
Nope.
We'll see what happens. But Booker T was talking about it, and he said, I don't know what Impact is thinking right now. Maybe they're thinking about the rub. It's a cool moment for AEW. It's not a cool moment for Impact Wrestling unless I own both companies and I was working the fans. For Rich Swann to go out and lose the title to Kenny Omega, it does absolutely nothing for Impact, in my opinion. So he thinks that because Swann lost, it hurts Impact in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those numbers for the pay-per-view were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers for Impact after Rebellion were not great. They dipped about, I think, 15%. It's a pretty big dip.
Because Swann didn't win, and AEW's numbers went up.
AEW's numbers went down.
Yeah, AEW went down.
That's right. You showed that. Yeah, you showed me that. That's right. But
they were going up against.
If Swann would have won, Impact's numbers would have went up.
I would say so. Yeah, and AEW was going against the president's speech. I can't imagine that they lost 400,000 people to the president talking.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah, I know.
Keep it a buck. I didn't even know that Biden was doing a speech.
Yeah,
my bad, Joe.
I watched this speech.
Like 50,000 or so. Sure,
you have to.
Yeah.
You get paid to watch the speech.
Yeah.
I didn't get paid to watch the speech. I just, I would rather watch that than AEW.
Oh shit! Well, okay. 50,000 or so would make sense. 400,000.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a big number, man. I don't know if I'm going to blame that on.
Yeah, you can't all be on Biden. I mean, obviously there's some NFL draft stuff coming up. A lot of people were getting ready for that, but I still don't know if there's just enough to equal up to that. So it's interesting that hold on. Coming out of their biggest pay-per-view.
Are we talking about Impact's
no, AEW.
AEW. Okay.
It's just interesting to see both of their numbers go down after what, like you're saying, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, and arguably one of the biggest pay-per-views in the history of their companies. Obviously, AEW's for sure, but it was still one of Impact's biggest. So I don't know, man. It's interesting that both of them got hurt in the numbers. You would have thought that if Impact's numbers went down, at least AEW's would have gone up for having Kenny win.
But you know what? I just thought about this though. Sorry, because you off. Now that y'all mentioned it, Impact's numbers went down. I'm going to directly go to the draft because it was Thursday.
For Impact, I feel like that's probably true.
Impact. I gotta go with direct correlation to the draft. As much as people love wrestling, those same redneck wrestling fans definitely have a fucking football team that they're cheering for, and they're watching the fucking draft.
If I wasn't doing the results for Impact, I would probably be switching back and forth. Because the draft. If you watch NFL, that draft's pretty fucking important.
Very much.
I think I watched every minute of the draft.
Football runs this country.
So Impact dropped from 145,000 to 120,000.
Yeah, that's not a big
drop. That's
not
bad. That's 25,000.
Yeah, and that 25, I can guarantee you that 25,000.
That's fun. That's fun.
That's the draft.
There, as far as the demo for 1849, it's the same as they did the week before. So that actually shows that they didn't lose any younger viewers. The ones that they lost were older, which is good. That's a good sign.
Which is the draft. Draft people involved in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Let's keep it real. You want to know why AEW's numbers dropped? Because AEW was boring.
We're gonna get into it because there was a match. There was a match on AEW. There were two. One surprised the hell out of me.
The Darby Allin match. That's the.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I was surprised by that because I knew how good Alan Angels was. And Darby is probably one of the best at dying in the ring.
but we're going to talk about how this face is a complete heel. We're going to talk
absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, we'll get into all that soon. Is there any more news? So did we cover the Mickie James thing? No, because the last show we did was before Mania.
I think didn't we read about her being kicked out?
We did. So
yes,
so that happened, and then after our last show, Mickie James said some more stuff. Apparently, first off, the person that tried to ruin her career is still with the company. People assume that it's Bruce Pritchard because Bruce hates Nick Aldis. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what they're saying.
It's Cena.
I mean, Cena did kind of fuck her over.
It's Cena. Career. That man lost everything because of that shit.
Yeah.
That made that motherfucker make up contracts for his dating.
Yeah,
situation.
I mean, that was his fault. But and she talked about how she was trying to pitch an all-woman show for the WWE.
Mick Foley recently pitched that on Twitter also.
Exactly.
Saying, Vince, please make an all-women show before AEW beats you to it. And then Gail Kim responded to the tweet and said maybe Impact would beat both of them.
Impact can. I think Impact is the company that has the balls to do it. I think it'd be started like as an online show, but they do.
But do they have enough female talent?
They will by June, my friend. They will by June. So on Busted Open, Mark Henry was talking to Jordan Grace. And first off, Mark was talking about Mickey's things about the women's show. And he said, look, hell, I've been trying to push that for years. I'll be the GM. I told Vince that personally. I'll be the GM of this show if you do it. I'll be be there every week. As far as Jordan Grace goes, Tommy Dreamer, who works with Impact very closely, not only is he a wrestler for them, he's actually very high up in the company. Tommy and Mark are talking to Jordan Grace, and they're talking about who she'd like to face coming out of that release list. She said, yeah, the Iconics, of course. Mickey, absolutely. I would love to do twin Muscle Busters with Samoa Joe, was one of the comments she said, which I would love to see. But then she finished the comment by saying, what I have heard from Impact Management is that our women's division is about to expand in a major way.
Are they finally going to start invading AEW? Is that what's going to happen?
I don't know, but I'm hoping that something. Look, if we've said it ever since this whole thing started, the best thing AEW can get out of this whole partnership is that women's division from Impact. It is the best on the planet with how they book.
If the two of them just go in together on an all women's show.
Yeah,
even if it's an online thing,
they have enough between the two shows.
Or that other hour of programming that we keep getting promised from AEW. If that's what they give us as an all women's show, with it their women and Impact's women just together, and that's all we get out of that one extra hour every week, I'd watch that show.
I'm about to say, I was getting ready to say that, Mike. Like, I need Impact's writers to have full control because I don't trust anything AEW would do with that. I don't trust anything that AEW would do with that.
I mean, you look at what that could be. It would be Deonna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace, Havoc, Kiera Hogan, and Tasha Steelz, who have both become really, really great in the ring. Then you have Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker. Might be a little boring for some people. Jade, as people kind of found it boring, but the champion, Carl Sheet, is still pretty good. Nyla, yeah. And then I like Layla Hirsch. I think Layla Hirsch is a pretty great.
And then you throw in the Iconics.
If you get the Iconics, James. Yeah, like there's enough there.
Taylor Wilde, who's about to date, I guess she debuted the other night. Debuted
this past week. Yeah, and she looks great. She looks great.
Yeah.
Tenille Dashwood.
Dashwood's another one. Yeah.
There is more than enough talent.
Oh, and then
make
if
a full
Tessa's coming to AEW,
I was going to talk about that next. Yeah, that's
sorry.
Thanks for bringing. Thank you for bringing that up.
But if you throw in Tessa to that all women's show, and you give me all those matches, like there's just a combination of matches you go up and down that list that I'd love to see. And then honestly, like the people like Tessa and Jordan that can switch over and go against the men, that is an option too.
So Tessa working with AEW is apparently what's been rumored. She's apparently close to signing with AEW. Several reasons why that would be an issue. One is the locker room does not like her. Several people from AEW have said that once her whole issues came out in 2019? Yeah. No, 2020. It was like 2020.
No, 2019 because
was 2019 for the world title?
No, 2019 because she was out for about 3 months and decided that she wasn't giving up the belt.
No, that was last year.
2020.
Because
but she won the belt in 20. She won it in 2019, didn't she?
No, she won it in January because she won it Hard to Kill.
Wow.
So
she won it from Sammy, right?
Yeah, she won it from Sammy. A lot of that
January 13th, 2020, yeah.
A lot of the division does not like her. And then if you try to make a business deal,
Swole can't stand her.
Swole can't stand her. You're right. Yeah, she fucking hates her. If you're trying to make a deal work with Impact and AEW, the last person you bring in is someone that tried to hold their top belt for ransom for months on end.
Yeah. It seems like WWE is their only option. I mean,
and WWE has had people say that if she has an attitude change, they'd love to bring her in. But right now, she's still Tessa.
Of course, I mean the other factor is her dad. I would assume. We
got Reggie saying that he thinks Vince will pull the trigger just so he doesn't come in second. Here's the thing. No, that won't happen because you know why? Let's be realistic. Vince had an opportunity. If Vince really gave a shit about the women's division and this whole women's evolution, Vince would have did this, especially when they had their own pay-per-view. After they had their own pay-per-view, if Vince really gave a shit, he'd have started it then. He's not going to give a shit, even if AEW and Impact get a show together. He's not going to give a shit due to the fact that right now it's being proven that AEW can't do shit with their women division. So he's not going to care. Impact are tiny fish in an even smaller pond to him. He's definitely not going to care. Okay? So right now, Vince McMahon is the bull shark who is a bull shark. He can come into fresh and salt water at the same time. And right now, he's looking at the fresh water with AEW being, I guess, the piranha of the fresh water, and Impact being a fish that sticks next to that piranha. And that bull shark is still roaming around there like, yeah, all right, I'll still eat the fuck out of both of y'all. That's what WWE is right now.
Yeah.
All right. And when it comes down to the women's wrestling, until AEW proves that they can actually do something, until that piranha actually nips that bull shark and draws blood, there ain't gonna be no fucking women's show.
Welcome to Shark Week with Kenny, Greg, and Mike.
I mean, look, Vince has never cared about doing anything first. That's never been a problem for him. What he cares about is if something becomes important and if something is a draw, he wants to do it better than everybody else. So, like Kenny said, if they can prove they can make it work, okay, Vince will do it.
So if they can prove it can make it, if they can prove it can make it work, Vince will be like, "Oh, yeah, sure they can work. All right. Well, guess what? I have better talent, so let me show you how it's really done."
And to Vince's advantage, they've proven that they don't give a fuck about that division over in AEW.
Yeah. I mean, and we'll talk about that more when we talk about AEW this week.
And then to throw with the Tessa news, her husband Daga, he vacated his title in AAA this past week, so that might lead even more credence to the fact that they are leaving to come to AEW.
Well, then they also have a working relationship with AEW, so like, I feel like AEW taking up Daga and Tessa Blanchard is a bad idea, personally.
I mean, yeah, but like, I think that's where we're headed.
I agree. It's just it's not good. They're both talented. I think they're both great, but this is not a good idea.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Tessa's cool and all, but I'm not 100% impressed with her. I feel like there is nothing that she has done that I haven't seen any other female wrestler that is pretty much good do. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see anything that makes her stand out from Charlotte or even Jordan Grace. I don't see anything different.
What she has better than them is a personality. I've never thought Charlotte has had a great personality or like great mic work. I've never thought that about her. Jordan Grace, kind of, but both of them, they're more about their in-ring ability. Tessa has a character.
The thing with Charlotte, I'm gonna be honest with you, is Charlotte has a personality, but the thing about her personality is when you're a natural bitch, because you know you're the daughter of Ric Flair, you don't really talk much because you know you're a natural bitch. And they're forcing a natural bitch to talk. That's the problem. Resting bitch face is real. They don't say nothing. They just sit there and look at you and you know what the fuck is going on. They can't have Charlotte do that behind the mic. So that's what the problem is with Charlotte. So it feels a little forced. But I was never really impressed with Tessa like that. I mean, she like you said, she's good, but she's not the hot commodity that everybody wants her to be in my eyes. I'm sorry.
Sean Spears this.
I wouldn't even put her like the thing is when you look at like the past so many knockout champions, does she leave the division better than it was when she walks away, right? I don't think she did because she more or less abandoned it to go after the world title.
Yeah, the division got better, to be honest.
It got better because what we got out of it was a year in with Taya Valkyrie.
It got better because it focused on her. If it got better when she left because it focused on women wrestling other women and not trying to be involved in the main title picture.
Yeah.
I'll play devil's advocate there and say that her going after the men's title really did help legitimize. Did what? Let me finish, Kenny.
China did it already.
Right, but I mean, in the newer legitimized Tessa. Yes. Well, but it also like the people. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but like I think that to some degree it legitimized that division too. And showcase that anybody can go after any title in Impact if they want it.
Impact has only done it once since with Jordan Grace.
Right.
Jordan Grace has gone after the X Division title like twice. That's because Jordan Grace is a monster. Jordan Grace can do whatever.
Jordan Grace is a monster.
Yeah. Like
the best thing about Jordan and Tessa is like Tessa beating Madman Fulton and Brian Cage never made sense. It never made any sense. Jordan Grace beating Ace Austin. Yeah, I can see that. Like that, that's the thing where size and stuff comes into it. But that's also why I don't like Rey Mysterio beating the Great Khali. As great is like one is above the other. Rey beating a guy that's 3 times his size is making sense to me.
Yeah, you have to suspend belief in order to have those guys go and win.
Yeah.
And to some degree, I guess you had to do that with Tessa, though. I mean, Tessa and Sammy made sense. Tessa and Brian Cage didn't.
Because Sammy's
a crazy bastard.
Yeah,
right.
Sammy's not like an in shape. He's not. He carries every fucking feud. Sammy's awesome, but he is not this like crazy in shape workhorse motherfucker. He is dirty. He pulls out all the tricks, and that's how he beats you. Tessa's
He busts your eye apart.
He does. But when Tessa beat a fresh Brian Cage, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. We'll get into Brian Cage destroying Hangman too.
We'll get into that too. That was great. That's one of the matches that I loved. Let's go ahead and talk about Rebellion. I don't think there's any much else news to talk about, so we'll talk about Rebellion next. All in all, I thought this was phenomenal. The worst match on the show, I thought was still good.
I give it a good A-, and that's because of who came out champion.
I don't think any of us were really expecting a lot from the tag title match because none of us.
I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect Good Brothers to lose again.
Yeah, that was shocking.
That was shocking. Boring.
Yeah, I'm not a Finn
that was honestly the worst match of the card.
It was, but even then, the worst match on the card, it was still good. It was just not great. Like it was good. So we start off with
no.
You don't think so?
That match
was boring.
That match was boo-boo.
Yeah.
I thought it.
And I love my boy Machine Gun.
Yeah.
He tried his hardest in that match. He really did.
As much as I love Gallows,
and as the oldest person in that match, let's be realistic. He should not have looked the best.
No. And as much as I love Gallows, we all know that Gallows isn't a great wrestler.
Gallows has the Kevin Nash. Gallows is Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
let's be realistic. Like I love Gallows' personality, but as far as like his body and shit like that, he's clearly got the Kevin Nash needs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
By the way he walks, everything, he's clearly got the Nash needs. Dude, it's gonna be time to.
He'll retire before Carl Anderson does. I believe that 100%. He'll retire before Carl Anderson does. We started the show with probably one of, if not the best match of the night, depending on what you like. Josh Alexander versus TJP versus Ace Austin for the X Division Championship. What a fucking way to open a show.
What a goddamn way to open the show. And I just got a notice from my children that I was being loud. And they wanted me to close the door. No, I will not close the door. There is a cross breeze, and Daddy has been drinking, so this feels good.
That's me kidding. I can't.
Oh shit. Anyway, yeah, Josh Alexander, I believe he pinned Ace Austin. Or no, he pinned TJP with the Divine Intervention, which is like this double underhook pile driver thing.
Once again, the X Division is the leader of all divisions besides, I'd say, the North American division in NXT. And the reason why I say the North American division might be on top is because of what we've seen them do from the beginning of the North American title till now, with the champions they have had and the matchups they have had to compete for those championships. I don't think we've seen one dull North American title championship match. But as far as the X Division, they are killing it. And I love the fact that the X Division isn't limited to a weight class. I love that. I didn't know that. I thought the X Division, and I'm glad you guys informed me of that, because I really thought the X Division was like the cruiserweight title, where you had to be, because from what I've saw from past Impact matches and stuff, and when I have looked back, the X Division competitors have been smaller. So I thought it was the cruiserweight title. So when I saw a guy like Willie Mack go for it the first time, I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? And you guys had to explain it to me. So Josh Alexander, being the monster that he is, winning that belt is awesome. And the rematch he had with Ace Austin this week was fucking amazing too.
Great match.
It was fucking amazing too. Like,
I think with the X Division, to your point, Kenny, I think we can thank Joe for that. Because like when I was
definitely isn't a cruiserweight.
No,
like,
never has been. Never
when I
has been.
first started watching Impact, like you said, it was mostly the smaller guys, and then Samoa Joe debuted, and then he went after that title. And I think from that point on, that's where you started to see guys from. It wasn't about just the smaller guys. You've seen bigger guys go after it, and it's become great. It's become their mid-card title. So, but yeah,
And
Alexander, he's a fucking beast, man.
And I think they booked that mid card title better than anybody else books a mid card title. I mean, and it's not close.
Yeah.
I mean, because
always,
a lot of times those mid card guys, and Kenny and I, we've talked about this a lot, that the mid card should lead you into being able to go and win the bigger title. And I feel like the X Division title has a history of that, where like if you can go win that, you can go win the big title eventually.
And
The only other title that I can honestly say has done that, Justin, has been the North American title.
Yeah,
people who have won the North American title have gone up to compete for the big belt.
Right.
That's true.
Well, and then there's some of them that like the one thing I will say is like, so like the North American title, a lot of times that does mean you're going to go win the NXT go win the NXT title. With the X Division title, sometimes those guys treat that X Division title more like the Miz treats like that Intercontinental title. So they have that ability to kind of go down either path. They can have it be a stepping stone title, or they can turn that into the main title during a period where they're trying to build other stuff. They can have that title mean the most on that card if they need it to be. So I love the way that they're able to kind of go down both roads with that mid card title.
And to that point, Justin, what makes Impact great is that they intertwine both of those divisions at the same time. Look at Chris Bay. A couple months ago, he faced Rich Swann for that belt. He was going after Swann. And then a little bit after that, he was right back in the X Division title scene. Like, they do a great job of maneuvering those guys, because that's as equal as two divisions as you're going to find in wrestling.
It's not a demotion. It's never a demotion to go down for that.
I'm sorry. I just thought about something. What I see happening, and it's going to piss a lot of people off. What I see happening is someone like maybe Moose or even Chris Bay challenging Kenny Omega to a title match, them winning, but instead of giving back the Impact title, they give back the TNA title.
Fuck you. Don't say that shit.
That's what's gonna end up.
Don't say that
I see that happening so much.
Oh man.
I see that happening. I see that happening because they never unified those titles. Think about it.
Never did. Real quick, on AEW this week, did Kenny Omega show the Impact World Championship?
What happened?
On AEW this week, did Kenny Omega show the Impact World Championship?
No, I don't think. No.
They said he won it, but did he actually have the belt?
No,
I don't think so.
He didn't have it with him.
Okay, that's not the reason why I'm not a fan of the ending. So another thing about the X Division Championship, back in 2012, they introduced Option C, which is I don't know if you know this, Kenny. Option C is if you have the X Division Championship, you can just say, "Hey, I'm gonna vacate this and I'm gonna go for the world title right now." That's how Brian Cage won the belt. He vacated his title and then beat Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact. They started with Austin Aries. Chris Sabin won his title that way. It's a thing where the X Division Championship has always been a step right below that title.
Which is what it should be. Like it's a secondary belt.
That's a great rule. That's a great rule.
It is. So it used to be like every year going to have the option. Are you going to do it? But now it's just if an X Division champion wants to do that at any point, they can do it. Which I love.
Yeah, that's a great rule.
That's not a bad thing. I'm saying that.
But I'm saying what's the problem for other promotions?
I don't know, because that's a great fucking idea.
Here's the thing. At one point, WWE, when they were under, I guess, the WWF banner, had that mentality. The IC belt was the next step. If you had the IC, hell, if that wasn't the case, we wouldn't have the mega matchup with Warrior versus Hogan.
Mhm. Yeah.
It was the next step. I don't know when it stopped being the next step.
And they say it is. They still say like if you win that belt, you're on your way to the top. Most of those motherfuckers that win that IC belt nowadays are never winning the world title.
Hell no.
Well, it's not
Curtis
that they're not
fucking
winning the world
Axel
title.
had the bitch.
A lot
Curtis
of them are
fucking
like 50.
Axel had it.
Like Sheamus is out here winning the title, which
Thanks.
is great for Sheamus at this stage of his career. That's wonderful, and he can put someone over younger that helps make them go to that next step. But there is something to it that I don't know that it is a true stepping stone anymore. Like Riddle wins it, and he gets sent to go be in a tag team.
Which
after
is
he
fucking,
loses.
which is fucking awesome. Don't
It
you?
is.
That's
I'm
great.
not-
We're not
This is
bad.
great.
I'm not
We will
disrespecting it. I'm just saying that,
no
like,
RK Bro
no.
contender.
I'm not slandering RK Bro. What I am slandering is the fact that, like, you have a guy like that go win that title, and you only had him win it just because we just need. But he's a younger guy. Like, you should have just had Sheamus go win that title, or John Morrison that night.
Here's the thing. Riddle won the title because Keith Lee was going through whatever he was going through. So Sheamus winning the belt kind of reset them because that's what they originally planned.
Right.
It kind of reset them back.
It's just like they had John Morrison in that match. They could have just reset it right then. And Riddle could have gone out of the because if you're just going to take Riddle out of the picture anyway, why not?
Let's finish with the Impact. Let's finish with Impact.
All right. So before we get on the results, the reason I was talking about option C is because I think Josh Alexander will be the next guy to use option C.
But with who?
I don't think it's going to be against Kenny Omega. I don't think it's going to be against Omega. I think it'll be whoever beats Omega.
No, it's going to be whoever beats Omega for that TNA title because it's not going to be the Impact title.
I hope you're wrong.
Not. We are talking about slick ass Kenny Omega and Don Callis. Yes, you can have a title match. Did I say for what title though? No, you're not getting both of these. No, you can take this one here. Be happy. It's what you wanted anyway. It's TNA.
What sucks is what you're saying makes so much sense and it really pisses me off.
He's gonna lose those titles. Like he won't lose them all at once. He'll lose them in 3 different ways.
Yeah. But anyway, the X Division Championship match, great shit. Always good. Watch that. It's fantastic. The next match is Violent by Design against Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, James Storm, and Willie Mack. Eric Young was hurt in this match, and they had a replacement. That replacement is
it's the big ass
W. Morrissey, which, God, man, I know it's your real name, but Jesus, like
the name sucks.
Just call yourself Morrissey. Why the W?
It sounds like a really bad law firm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was the band.
W. Morrissey debuts.
It's all our podcast viewers who don't know who that band is. That shows you the versatility of this podcast. Even a guy like me would know who the band Morrissey is. Go check yourself.
Morrissey debuts this night. Dominates the match. I don't think he was actually taken down at all in this match. And after about 10 minutes, he hoofs Mac with a big boot to the face and then hits the East River Crossing for the finish.
He looked good.
And he's in great shape.
He really is. The following week, we found out why Enzo was the mouthpiece.
Yeah, he can't talk to save his life. No. I like him having a power bomb for a finisher there. I think that's a deal.
I don't think we've had a big guy have a legit power bomb for a finisher in a while.
Yeah.
Like certain moves, I think if you're a certain stature, it's okay to have those moves as your finisher. Not everything has to be you coming off the top rope or doing some kind of flip thing. If you're 300 pounds or close to it or over 6'5", you need a power finisher.
Yeah,
that's why I had no issues with Braun having the running power slam. You know what I mean? Like it was a legit power finisher. Like either have a power arm slam or some type of serious submission move like a torture rack or something as your finisher if you fit those qualifications. So Morrissey having the power bomb is excellent. It's excellent.
The move he used at Rebellion was sick. That finisher.
The East River Crossing. East River Crossing is a good move too.
Yeah.
Like I think the only other person who has a dope big man power finisher is Corbin.
And the days, yeah.
End of days is some good shit.
But also, so is that deep six. Like either one of those.
Deep six. He needs to win with that deep six.
Yeah,
he does. He does. Corbin's got a shit ton of great moves. Like his choke slam backbreaker that he does is great. Corbin actually has a great move set. I feel people no one appreciates Corbin like we do. It's ridiculous.
Corbin is a dick for the character that he plays, but as far as wrestler, if you have watched Baron Corbin's career from when he first started in NXT until now, Baron Corbin is leaps and years beyond above what he was, and he needs to get the respect that he deserves.
He's great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Baron Corbin needs a championship run.
Yes,
he does. Just give me one. Give me one championship run. That's all he needs. I liken him a little bit to the Miz as far as
I'm getting a look. I'm sorry, I'm getting a look right now with someone else in my house who hates Baron Corbin. I showed you pictures of it, and they are listening to the podcast, rolling their eyes at me right now, going,
well, you know what?
Corbin. Fuck Corbin. He don't need shit.
They're wrong.
I'm not saying that. I gotta live.
I said
it. I'm not saying that. I gotta live here.
I've had 9 beers, Kenny. Fuck it, I'll say it.
I don't care how many beers I've had.
I'm kidding. Don't hurt me. But yeah, man, it's good for Big Cass. I'm happy for him. He signed with Impact apparently this week. I'm hoping for good things to come his way. It's always good to see someone kind of turn their life around. So it's good. The next match surprised the absolute shit out of me. The next match was Brian Myers versus Matt Cardona.
Dick Kick City was a good match.
Let me tell you,
I
thought I was going to go take a piss during this match.
I took a picture during the Finn Juice Good Brothers match, not that one.
That's I did the same shit. Yeah. Brian Myers and Matt Cardona had one of my favorite matches of the week,
and I don't like either one of them. You know what? I like Brian Myers more than I like Matt Cardona. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
And this is what Impact does. They will bring someone in that you're like, he's a fucking nobody, and they will make them a star. They do it all the time.
Maybe Sean Spears should have started off at Impact instead of
Maybe. But like Deonna Purrazzo lost every match she was in WWE. They shot her to the top title like that. And you know what? She's probably the best women's champion in wrestling right now.
She is.
Impact is where you go when you need to revitalize your career
and build yourself. Look at AJ.
Yeah.
Look at fucking AJ.
Yeah. Like I was watching that match, and I just so happened to go into the chat like, who told these two dudes to have a good ass match?
Not just a good ass match.
Like, wait a minute.
This is one of the better matches of the night.
Yeah. They're like, well, wait a minute. This is on a show of great matches.
On a show with Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Rich Swann. One of the fucking best matches.
What the fuck happened? And it's driving me crazy because I'm like, what the fuck? How did WWE miss apparently Brian Myers? What the fuck happened? Because this dude, if this guy was on WWE TV,
the dude who lost 300 matches in a row,
the dude that our boy Matt predominantly named Ass Man.
Yeah.
Well, now he's Dick Kick City, lovingly so. This motherfucker
he's moved from the back to the front.
This motherfucker was on TV when Ezekiel Jackson was Intercontinental Champion. All right. This motherfucker was around when Santino Marella was about to win the world title. Like,
hold on. Who?
Santino?
No, which one of them? Cardona?
I'm talking about Brian Myers.
No way. He wasn't around that long.
Yes, he was.
No way.
Yeah, they were around They were in there from 2007 to like last year. Brian Myers left and came back, but Bryan was there from 2007.
Mm-hmm.
You had these two dudes, and this is why people were such big fans of Matt Cardona and Zack Ryder back in the day. Like, you see the potential. You see the potential of right there of what can happen if you use a guy correctly. When you use him for nothing for like 9 years, it blows my mind. Like,
that
how
might have
many
been the
people are
second best match of the
like
night.
that? It might have been. If you say my second favorite match of the night is Brian Myers against Matt Cardona at Rebellion, I'm not going to say you're wrong, because you know what? It was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd put. The only thing I'd put above it is probably the Swann Omega match.
And then we got a rematch on Impact, and that was good. That was one of the best matches.
I will say, like, but you're talking about it like those two together. Like, they've got great chemistry. They've worked together for so long. That's to be expected. I don't know that I've seen Brian Myers put on a bad match.
No,
at a pay-per-view yet.
He hasn't put on a bad match since he's been signed to Impact, and since he's been
not
on
one.
Impact.
Not one.
Not a single bad match.
Not a single bad match.
It's not like you can't even chalk it up to they're like best
you know what?
friends.
I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it back even further. I don't think Brian Myers has had a bad match since they won the tag team championship. Even when they lost, he still had a good match. Ever since they put the belt on Brian Myers, he was a different person.
Yeah. And this is it. This is like when they're like, hey, the dude's a good hand, and you're like, yeah, but you're not doing anything with him. This is what a good hand is. You give the guy a chance, and he's one of your best.
You can't even make the argument that it's because Brian Myers and him have like and Cardona have great chemistry because they're best friends. Like, yes, that helps, and that helps them put on a great match, but it's not the sole reason. Like, these dudes independently have put on great matches by themselves.
Yeah. Cardona's had some good matches since he left WWE. Like,
right.
It's I wonder all the time now, especially because of that, how many people have left WWE and like they could have been one of the next great mid-card champions if the WWE just gave a shit.
You know what I was thinking about? You know what I was thinking about the other day, and it may sound weird, and you actually brought him up earlier in the podcast. A character that I think needs to be reborn and revisited in Impact, No Way Jose.
I think so. I think No Way Jose has a lot of potential.
Because I remember at one point we were like, yo, when No Way Jose got mad in his matches, we were like, yo, this. And remember, he wasn't a small dude. He was like 6'4", 270, 275.
Yeah.
Like, he was huge.
He looked like a linebacker.
Yeah. Right. He's a big motherfucker.
Speaking of linebackers, I can't wait until Mongo has the root for Mocho when he comes to Impact.
Justin, I will just stop watching Impact.
You will not do such thing.
I'll stop watching Impact.
You will not do. You would do no such thing.
They bring him in and he puts on great matches.
I'll have a crisis. I'll have a legit mental breakdown.
You know what's another good thing?
Comes to Impact and he becomes one of the best people on the roster. I will.
You know what's another good thing that they did with
far-fetched.
Clearly, it's not. Brian Myers and Matt Cardona just blew the fucking roof off the place twice in 1 week. 2 times. 2 times in 1 week.
This man is upset. This man is upset.
It doesn't make sense, Kenny.
I want Mojo and Impact.
I'm so fucking angry about it because for years we've been like, these guys suck. What the hell? Why are they signed? Why are they still here? That's why. That's why they're still here. And what the
can't
fuck
wait
is that?
for
Mongo, you know what's the other good part about this situation with Brian Myers and Cardona? Impact was smart enough to realize just because you're a quote unquote big name does not mean you need to be placed in the world title scene immediately.
They rebuilt them.
They rebuilt them and letting them build themselves from the bottom up, which is something that AEW needs to learn.
And here's the thing.
Because we all know Christian Cage is going for a belt within the next 2 months.
Probably.
We all know that.
That's the thing though. Like you, like
what's the topic?
Think about it.
Well,
We're still on Cardona and
I just lost my mind for a good 90 seconds.
if Brian Myers comes in though, and they put him right in the world title scene, we're all going to be
shit on Impact immediately
because he has no shot. He's dead in the water because everybody thinks the way that we thought. But now, like if you told me in 2 more months of him building himself in this way, and we get more matches like this, if you say, yeah, he's going to be challenging Rich Swann for the title tonight, and he wins.
He's been undefeated at pay-per-view.
I'm not going to hate it. Like if they put a title on him, I'm not going to hate it now.
If Brian Myers beats Josh Alexander for the X Division Championship in 2 months, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
That's going to be a good match. That's going to be a great match.
And somebody's going to get kicked in the dick.
Can't go wrong. Kicked in the dick.
Yeah, I can't forget that.
I was so angry at how much I love this. Like I went on Twitter and I was like, why is this happening? Why is the best match on this card so far?
And wait till you see what happens, like Justin said, when they have Mojo doing vignettes.
Dude,
the shadow.
I won't be okay. You'll need to check on me personally. Like you're all going to call my
But
phone.
remember that last character switch they tried to give Mojo right before he left, where he was
the
serious?
glass break shit. Yeah,
that's what Impact is going to do. That, but better.
They will do it better because
Impact is going to turn Mojo into Karrion fucking Cross, and you're going to fucking love it.
I can't believe it. Like, if I could go back in time and tell myself 5 years ago, Impact Wrestling is going to have the best booking of any promotion in the world, I would kick myself in the nuts because there's no fucking way.
Wait,
but
you don't do that on your own for your own personal pleasure?
Yeah, man. My future self? Yeah, go fuck myself. But Impact Wrestling right now, there is no better booking. There is no better booking.
Tucker, Wesley Blake, Mojo, and fucking Bo Dallas. They're about to show up, and they're going to take over it.
3 of those guys, I'm cheering and rooting and hoping for the best for 3 of those people. I am. I hope 3 of the 4 of those guys you just named come to Impact, knock it out of the park, and are better for it. I hope one of them gets hit by a bus. But anyway,
listen, you do know when Tucker comes, he's getting teamed with Kaz, and they're going to be a tag team that's going to destroy everything.
And you know what? Good. Let's have a big fucking badass.
That's coming too. Don't worry.
Yeah, apparently Morrissey isn't with Violent by Design. That was just like a one-time thing, which is good. Because you can't.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy.
He's a mercenary, right?
You can't have him
to go beat
him.
Yeah, that's you can't have him adoring because like the point of adoring is he's the biggest, baddest motherfucker in that group. If you put Morrissey in there, it kind of diminishes.
Unless you make Morrissey and Doring a tag team, like a new version of the Skyscrapers.
That scared the shit out of me. If I was in a tag team and I was fighting Morrissey and Joe Doring, I'd quit.
Them? All right, who beats them?
DK.
No, not even.
Scary Bullman ain't doing nothing to those 2.
God.
God.
Yeah.
Look, we need to finish the show. Jordan Grace and Richard Ellering beat Fire and Flavor to win the Knockouts tag team titles. Another great.
I forgot Rachel Ellering was good. I'm not going to lie.
Rachel Ellering had a great showing this night.
Yeah.
I love this. We all love Fire and Flavor. They're both fucking incredible. But I am happy we got a little change here. And they can come back and win them back. It's fine. Whatever happens, happens. But those 2 are made to do whatever going forward. They're fine. They can take this loss and be okay. It's great for Grace. Gives her something to do, but while she's not going for the top belt. Ellering to win it on her first match here. It's all good. Thumbs up. So far this show, 2 thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Trey Miguel and Sami Callihan. Last man standing match.
Great fucking match. Great fucking match. Great fucking match. Great fucking match.
What I love about Trey Miguel is that when he does a suicide dive, he does a suicide dive. Yeah. He is either going to kill you or kill himself.
No. Can we talk about Sammy breaking Trey's back on the table?
Oh, that was gross.
He looked like Homer Simpson when he fell over the fire hydrant. At what point do you sign up for that spot? Knowing you're in the ring with Sammy and shit may happen.
You gotta sign a waiver every time you wrestle Sammy Callahan. Like you may come out permanently injured.
You make him out dead.
But at the end of the day, it's gonna be a great match. Oh God, I just like a lot of things went wrong with the table in this match, but it doesn't matter because Trey and Sammy put on just a fantastic last man standing match. I mean, and it wasn't like the same old we do the same spots here and there because every WWE and AEW hardcore match is the exact same match.
It really is. It really is.
There are some spots I saw here I have never seen in wrestling.
You know what I like too about Impact? Kendo sticks aren't the go-to weapon in street fights.
Yeah.
Okay. Like who the fuck has a kendo stick with them in a street fight?
One person carries a kendo stick in Impact, and it's Eddie Edwards, and it's because he's fucking crazy. But nobody else has one because, like you said, why would you have one with you? Why would it be under the ring? It wouldn't. It wouldn't be there. Tables would be there. Chains would be there. Chairs, all that shit would be there. And that's what they do. I mean, any comments on this one? What do y'all think about Trey winning? Think that was the right move?
Definitely the right move.
Yeah.
I just want to know what the next move is for him now.
Right.
I think
he needs a belt.
I think Trey is one of three options. I'm going to ask you when we get done with these results. He is one of the three options to beat Kenny Omega.
Yes, 100%. Yes,
I think they're building for that because they clearly see a lot in Trey, and I think he might be the one.
Trey is their version of Ricochet. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna have somebody that's athletic and being able to actually put on good matches and can actually cut a good promo, Trey is the person. Trey can definitely do it, and I can definitely see Trey being one of the three that you have in mind.
Yeah, I just and then putting him with someone like Sammy, who is he carries every feud he's in. This has been great. I love the story so far. This is good. Again, we're 5 matches in, 2 thumbs up. Great shit. Finn Juice and the Good Brothers. Finn Juice wins. Yeah, he's all right. I don't like
2 thumbs down.
Yeah.
I'm not giving the thumbs down. I don't like Good Brothers losing because I really think Impact is losing their titles to other companies too much, and I'm kind of scared that Deonna Purrazzo does the same shit at Triple Mania.
Right now, except for Purrazzo and Alexander, all their major champions don't have a contract with them.
Well, Ellering got signed, right? I think Ellering got signed. If not, then because Grace is signed, but yeah, you might be right. And that's a problem. Purrazzo beat Tenille Dashwood in a really good match from Dashwood.
Tenille Dashwood impresses me each time she is in the ring. I can't get over that is still Emma.
Well, some people on Twitter saying, this is not the kind of stuff I wanted to see out of Emma when she left WWE. What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
He wanted her to chase Bubbles some more.
I guess.
Yeah.
The Tenille we're getting is like a mix of that thing they want her to do, but also, by the way, I'm still Tenille fucking Dashwood. And I will out wrestle your ass any day of the week. Her and Purrazzo had some fantastic chemistry. I love this.
They need to pull the trigger on Tenille being champion too.
They do. Purrazzo's had a really great 2 reigns here. I would love to see Tenille get it because I think she does deserve it. She's really ever since she joined, Because she was there when Valkyrie was champion. And she fought Valkyrie and lost. That because I thought they were building Dashwood up for the top, right?
I think
they didn't do it.
I think either her or Kiera Hogan's going to be knockout champion some point this year, later on this year.
Oh, Kiera Hogan definitely.
Kiera Hogan has she checks all the boxes.
Kiera Hogan is their version of Sasha Banks, and dare I say it, better at being Sasha Banks than Sasha Banks.
Oh, ooh, that's a hot take.
Kiera Hogan is better at being Sasha Banks than Sasha Banks is. I said it. You know what? Now, hold on. Let me put my face back on the screen real quick. Kiera Hogan is better at being Sasha Banks than Sasha Banks is at being Sasha Banks.
Well, remember, he also said that Sasha stole her swag, stole her style.
Exactly. Kiera has made the claim that Sasha has stolen her style, and like I said recently in one of our shows, Sasha always sounds forced in her promos.
I don't want to.
You never want to admit that I'm right until it's too late. Like with Ember and everybody fucking else. Just admit it now while I'm saying it, bitch. Get over it.
Hold on.
Just admit it now while I'm saying it. Why you always want to wait? Damn it. Like, come on. Like, just admit it now. There we go. There we go. There we go.
I don't want to be recorded saying it, but
I don't give a fuck. I ain't getting paid for this shit now.
I don't want someone to clip this shit like this motherfucker hates Sasha Banks.
I don't.
No,
I like
I'm
Sasha
not saying.
Banks. I'm just saying.
You know how the internet is. But yeah, no, fucking Kiera Hogan she's the future. She's the future. Mm-hmm. And Tasha Steelz is too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, them losing the belt is fine because they will both be okay going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the end for them. They try to make Sasha bougie and ghetto.
Yeah.
And it's sounding very forced because you can tell that's not her style and personality. Fire and Flavor are bougetto. They are some bougie ghetto motherfuckers. This shit is natural for them.
Yeah.
And it shows. And let's not sleep on Kiera Hogan in the ring. Yeah, we all know Mongo's hard-headed. Like my mother used to say, hard head make a soft ass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that means, though. I'm scared.
That means if you don't fucking keep listening, you're gonna get your ass whipped, boy. Sit down. That's what that meant.
Oh God. So yeah, this is also on the pre-show with Rosemary and Havoc beat Kimberly and Susan. If you didn't see it, another good match, another good knockouts match because Impact Wrestling does women's wrestling the best. So this is 8 matches in. This is going down as one of the best shows of the year. I'm putting it in my top 3. The main event, Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann for both the Impact Unified World Title and the AEW World Championship.
First of all, they made it seem that anybody could win during this match. I love that.
It was great.
There weren't a lot of false finishes. There were a lot of hot tags to themselves during this match, which is cool. You can have your momentum shift and change. The false finishes, I'd say, whatever false finish happened in that match happened at the correct time. It wasn't all right, this is enough. All right, somebody needs to fucking win this by now. This is enough. That was that little run he had. I thought he might have pulled that 1, 2, 3 right there. Okay. You got me.
Which is what you need in a unification match.
Yeah. Here's something. So they were saying this entire time that if Kenny Omega hits the Omega Angel, no one's going to kick out. It's not going to happen. What a lot of companies do, which really pisses me off, is someone's finish will be hit 4 or 5 times in a match, won't get a pin. What is a move that Rich Swann went for several times and never hit? The Phoenix Splash.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're putting over the Phoenix Splash as Rich Swann's finish. And if Rich Swann hits that shit, it's over. So Rich Swann never got to hit that move, but he was this close every time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I don't think this buries Rich Swann, but I do think it was the wrong decision.
It doesn't bury Rich Swann, it buried the company.
So you agree with Booker T's comments about
Yeah.
hurting the company? Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. What should have happened should have been a disqualification, and nobody should have lost their belt.
That's my thing. Like that match, as great as that match was, it was too clean.
It should have been some fuckery.
I was expecting there to be like some interference to like have Kenny win dirty, because you had everyone at ringside for it to happen.
Exactly.
Why not? It doesn't hurt Kenny to beat Rich Swann by cheating. Hell, he tried to bring a chair in during the match. It doesn't hurt him. But
I'll go further. I think this whole storyline has buried Impact because this partnership, at least so far, it hasn't been about Impact. It's been
benefited AEW.
Yeah, it's been about Kenny Omega, Tony Khan, Don Callis. That's what it's been about. Like, think about it, and we've talked about this at length in our chat. Why didn't Rich Swann ever show up on Dynamite? Why?
I remember Khan in an interview was asked, how come we don't see Impact on AW Dynamite? How come we don't see any advertisements there? How come we don't see Rich Swann or anybody appear? And Tony Khan said, I pay for ad time, so they should too. So
Tony Khan low-key is Vince McMahon, but a fucking nerd.
Well, the thing about this is,
and people try to hide it.
The thing about this is Tony Khan wasn't paying for ad space because the shit he was doing was during Impact. It wasn't during an ad break. And they would talk about it if Tony Khan came on the show and said something, they would say, "Hey, Tony Khan just talked shit about us" or whatever. Impact had one ad play on Dynamite. It was the Dynamite before Rebellion. And do you know when that ad played? During a split screen during a match, where you're not going to pay attention to it because you're watching the match. And then they never talked about it. You're right, Tito. Yeah, you're right. It was anything Tony Khan has done has been a promo, not an ad.
He's a fucking asshole.
So if the story is Tony Khan is playing the heel against Impact, it's also that Tony Khan is trying to stop the heel Kenny Omega from pulling all the shit off. It doesn't make any sense. And all it does in the end is make Impact look like C League.
Yeah.
That's not what you want.
Here's the thing. If Tony Khan is contradicting himself in every promo by saying that he is the one who basically signs a check, he tells Kenny Omega what to do. But not really when you're sitting there allowing your champion to come on shows every week. It's clear who's running that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say, I allow him to do this. No, he was going to do this whether you said it was okay or not. The same way he's going to do that match with Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
You got no say, and you damn sure ain't going to do no promotion for AAA. So stop. I don't like the fact that Tony Khan puts this front on that he's not a nerdy Vince McMahon. He clearly, you know what? He's not even Vince McMahon. I take that back because Vince McMahon at least knew what to do to get the fans. Tony Khan is just going off of fans just being tired of the same shit on WWE. Let's be realistic. AEW honestly is full of disgruntled WWE fans and the occasional person who watches New Japan.
That's what I've been saying since the beginning of AEW about their fan base. That's why they hype it up so much.
Right. It's legit disgruntled WWE fans who are just like, damn, I really wanted this guy to win, but they didn't. So let me watch this. That's all AEW is. And it's like, let's stop beating around the bush.
It's a hype job. It
really is. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point in juncture, from what I've seen from AEW is no better than AEW is just a better promoted version of the old ECW that used to come on like at 2 a.m. when they weren't even good yet. When they were just starting to come on. That's how I see AEW at this point.
All right, that's fair.
Fucking boring.
Like if I catch it, I catch it. If I don't, I don't. I don't give a shit.
Like I treat Dynamite like how I treat Raw and SmackDown. I don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Right now, the second face of the company, Cody, is fucking feuding with QT Marshall. Who the fuck is that?
I cannot give a shit about QT Marshall and his group. I don't care. It just what is it?
No, who is he?
Who cares?
For real?
Who is
he for real?
He's a like, I think he helps train at their school.
Oh my fucking god!
Like he's been a part of them. Like he was teaming with Dustin Rhodes, and now he's turned heel because he feels the Rhodes family betrayed him or something, some other shit like that. I don't care. I try, and again, like we've seen, I've been wrong so many times before that maybe there's something that I'm just not seeing, but I could not care less about anything involving QT Marshall and his weird ass group. I don't care.
The Berserker, it's QT
Marshall,
the Berserker, my man, Liver
Berserker.
Liver Punch.
He looks just like that motherfucker, doesn't he? I didn't even think about that shit. You put a Viking helmet on him, that's him doing T.
That's it. Push. This is fucking Berserker right there. 100%.
You got
my man, Liver Punch. Yeah, Liver Punch.
And then Bailey's ex-boyfriend, I think, is what that guy's best known for.
Oh yeah. Well,
and
cares?
Solo, something like that. There are apparently people that you see a lot on Dark, but again, I'm not watching a 3-hour show that doesn't really matter
air on a television.
Well,
air on television. Let's keep it a buck. I'm not watching a 3-hour show that's not on television. I'm not going. The only thing that is over 2 hours that I am not watching on television that I am streaming, I'm not going to lie, is a versus battle on IG between two artists that I want to listen to their fucking music. I'm not doing that shit for a fucking wrestling match, especially not for nobodies. I just watched my first main event on Hulu today after 2 years.
And did you miss anything?
No.
Because main event is fucking pointless.
The only thing that I've noticed about main event is this week. This week was the first week that I looked at the little like previews or whatever it was that Mansoor was on. Mansoor is 49 and fucking 0.
The only reason I know that is because I watched 205 Live, and they're always like, yeah, he's 48-0, 49-0. He's going to be 50-0 in his next match and will not challenge for a belt. And I don't know why.
Because they want to keep, because the Chop City deal. But that's neither here nor there. But
the thing
I watch
is,
hold on. And the thing about it is, I'm sorry to cut you off. The thing about it is, the reason I watched main event is because everybody was hyping this Mustafa Ali Ricochet match. And these are two people that I know can put on a damn good match. That shit wasn't even 10 minutes long.
I saw some of their main event matches that they've had in the past year. They were good, but they're not all going to be good. They've also wrestled 90 times this year.
I enjoyed the Gulag versus Cesaro part 5900 better than I enjoyed that Ricochet versus Ali match.
Yeah. Let's see. So here's the thing about Dark and why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many matches you win on Dark because your record's not going to pop up on the Dynamite. Shawn Spears went on a fucking 19-match win streak on Dark. They didn't appear on Dynamite during that time. Did he get a fucking title match? Was he in the fucking rankings? No, he wasn't because Dark doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you say. Dark does not matter. It is useless.
Not one fucking bit.
And I'm not going to watch a 3-4 hour show on YouTube with 15 matches on it that doesn't matter.
Doesn't do that thing. No story behind it or nothing.
That's like watching. Literally, that's like watching 4 fucking ICW matches, and it's your first time watching them in a fucking row. It's like watching 4 fucking ICW pay-per-views and your first time watching them in a fucking row watching Dark. You don't know who the fuck anybody is. Don't know any fucking story. Don't know anything.
And on Dynamite, it'll pop up on the bottom eventually, like, yeah, here are the matches from Dark. And you're like, who are 20 of those people?
Who the fuck is jumping Jimmy Jangalo? Like, who the fuck is that?
Like, oh, you know, if you watch Dark, I'm not gonna watch Dark for motherfuckers I don't know. I'm not gonna
for 3 hours.
For 3 hours.
At least 4. I know them motherfuckers.
And like the reason that NXT got over there in the early days is because NXT was 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
1 hour. You get an hour to impress me.
And they did.
And they did. First night I watched it, they did. All it took.
They did.
I tried to watch Dark once.
No.
I've been to two Dynamite shows.
I've never. Oh, so you've had to sit through that shit.
I've had to sit through it.
Wow.
I've been to 2 Dynamite shows, and they'll do Dark before and after Dynamite.
So you're sitting there from 2 in the afternoon till 10:30 at night.
Well, here's the thing. So when I was doing it, Dark was just starting up, and Dark at that point was an hour. They would have a match before the Dynamite, 2 matches after. That's fine. That's good.
Right.
I'll watch that. I'll watch an hour. Sure, why the hell not? But 3 fucking hours?
And then you're putting on, like you said, 15 to 16 matches in those 3 hours. How long are these matches, number one?
Who the fuck wants to watch WrestleMania every week?
And here's my thing. Dynamite, so if they keep it that same way, where they were doing Dark before and after Dynamite, that would mean if they're still doing it, I don't think they are, but if they're still doing it that way, you're getting an hour and a half of Dark before Dynamite and an hour and a half of Dark after Dynamite. You are watching 5 hours on Wednesday night.
Goodness gracious.
I hope that's not how they're still doing it because
you go in at fucking 3 and you go in at about 6, you come out at 11.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, let's talk about AEW this week because I want to talk about this show. So the first match.
Once again, we're gonna talk about this Young Buck bullshit. Oh no, let's do the first match.
Yeah,
I think
the first match of the night was really good. It was Hangman Page, who at this point I think in the year was undefeated. He's the number contender. Yeah, it was, and he went against Brian Cage. Brian Cage beat the shit out of Adam Page.
No, Brian Cage beat the monkey out of him.
Loved it. That was great.
I understand why you love it because it should happen, but if you've been talking about Hangman being the number 1 contender, and it's clear you're leading up to something with him taking the belt from Omega, that isn't the time for him to get cremated like that.
That is true. It should not have been paid. It should have been somebody else.
He should not have been cremated like that. Like, even if he lost, he should have looked strong in his loss. It should have been a dirty loss because Cage is with Team Taz and they're dirty. It should have been a dirty loss, and it should not have been Brock versus Kofi.
He hits the power bomb on the ramp before the match starts. And if it wasn't, how do I say this? If it wasn't AEW, that would matter. But with AEW,
everybody gets power bombed on that ramp.
Yeah, it happens all the time. People will take some horrific shit 5 times in a match, come back and win. So
that ramp is officially part of their ring.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's why that kind of like as a Brian Cage fan, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do this. But yeah, it does hurt Hangman Page a lot. Especially if trying to make him that number 1 contender.
I'm be honest. I don't have a problem with it.
I think they're actually going to build towards Cage and Omega first.
And I really
and then Cage will lose.
Look, I like Hangman. But
if that's what they build towards, I don't think he's going to lose.
You don't think so?
I don't want to see Hangman as champ right now.
I don't want to see. Let's be realistic. Do we want to see anybody as AEW champ?
I need
the people
other than Omega.
Out of the people that they have built up, I think the only other person I would honestly be cool with being the AEW champ is 2 other people, and that would be probably MJF or Sammy Guevara. Those are the only 2 people that I would be okay with because they've actually had storylines. They've actually been built up. The shit like that. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No Jungle Boy.
I'd rather Pop.
Absolutely not.
I'd rather Pop than no Jungle Boy.
Absolutely not with the Jungle Boy.
I think the problem is AEW has done such a poor job of booking these guys. Like, I love Cage, man, but like him and
his character got boring.
They've been getting their ass.
Well, it's just like they got their ass beat. Like Brian Cage, he's a machine. He beats the shit out of you and he leaves. That is Brian Cage. But when you have him lose all the time, like he should not. They should not have lost that match against Sting and Darby Allin.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Nope.
There is no reason Brian Cage, Hook, Will Hobbs, and Starks, 4 people should lose to Old Man Sting and Mr. Kill Yourself Darby Allin. It doesn't make any sense.
Cage should be demolishing people who with an open challenge for this FTW championship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what should be happening. Cage should be doing what Moose was doing and legitimizing that FTW belt and saying that this is the real championship of AEW. Mm-hmm. That's what should be happening. That's what should have been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what Taz did. When Taz was in ECW, this is the real world championship.
Right. Like,
and that's why Taz mattered.
And with Brian Cage, the reason why I say if he goes against Kenny Omega, he would win is Cage didn't leave Impact on bad terms.
True.
He left on such good terms that he was still appearing in the little Twitch stream where Melissa was still commentating.
And as far as I know, I think Melissa still technically
works for them. She just took a break. Took a break.
She's still with them.
Yeah.
So if they win, Brian Cage would be the working middle ground for both groups. He would be the most sensible middle ground person because, like I said, he didn't leave Impact on bad terms, and AEW wants him to be a star. So
would he So would he be the one to beat Omega for the Impact title?
If they put him into that scene, yes.
That is my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
If they put him into that scene, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The other person.
Hold on. Tito said that her contract with them is up. She said it on Instagram, so she is done with them.
Oh, okay.
But again, neither one of them left on bad terms, as far as I know. Like Cage left, go to AEW, but it wasn't a bad thing. He put somebody over before he left.
Right.
That was it.
I mean, so, who will be a third person?
The one that they do not have the balls to do, but the
Moose?
one that I think everybody, Moose. For some reason, I don't think they see it, but like it's Moose, man.
And I don't understand why.
Moose is my number 1. If I had the pencil, Moose is beating Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
There's nobody else.
Yeah.
Then you can have Trey beat Moose.
Moose is the only other top star in Impact that can.
He's legit. I mean,
The only other thing that happens is they hold this shit off until July when Samoa Joe shows up.
That is an option. Yeah. The thing about them saying if Kenny Omega doesn't appear on every Impact, he's stripped of the belt, makes me think he's losing it pretty quick. But maybe not.
Like I said, even if he does lose, it's not going to be the Impact title. It's going to be the TNA title.
Yep. Dreamer, I think, said that they do a month's worth of shows every 2 days. So they do Impact, Explosion, and then BTI. The entire month's worth of shows in 2 days.
Shit.
Which is a lot. It's a lot of fucking work.
That's why Ewok blew out his fucking knee.
Probably. That's probably why. So like Kenny does that he has one really hard week of work where it's a lot of shit. And then the rest of the month he has to do Dynamite and that's it. So I guess he could hold it for a while. It's not like he's having to go back to Tennessee every Thursday night.
And then on top of that, like, let's be realistic. AEW isn't having him fight unless it's a fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, he's not really in matches anymore.
He's not going to fight. He's not going to fight on regular TV anymore unless it's something spectacular or like a triple threat. Not even a triple threat, a 6-man tag match.
Right. I got the results up for Dynamite for.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say the site is. They gave this match a C+.
Which match?
The first match. Dynamite or Cage and Page.
No.
And I guess it's if you're looking at
you know what?
Doesn't do any wrestling, sure, but like I thought it was one of the best parts of the show.
I give it a C.
Is it a C just because Paige got no offense in? Like it wasn't a match, it was a murder? Okay.
Yeah. And because of who the people were in the match.
Okay.
Like if it was Brian Cage against a lesser person on the contender card, then I would have no problem ranking it B+ or higher. But because of who it is and the storyline that's behind who it is, nah. I can't.
All right. Next up is, and again, after this match, people were on Twitter saying how this is the greatest tag team to ever wrestle ever, period. History of wrestling. The Sydal Brothers versus the Young Bucks.
Let's keep it a buck. The Sydal Brothers carried that match.
Matt Sydal specifically carried the fuck out of this match. He was doing some crazy shit. Crazy stuff.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm gonna need the Bucks to go back to Super Kick City.
just don't see it, man. I don't know. I don't see what everybody else sees. I don't get it.
It's getting to the point where I'm going back to I'm not a Young Bucks fan again.
I wasn't a Young Bucks fan for long. I didn't like him for a long time. Remember that? Y'all to convince me to like him.
We all didn't like them, really. We all didn't like them, and then all of a sudden we were all like, "All right, they're not that bad. They're not that bad."
It was a Golden Lovers match. We're like, oh, okay, all right, that's not bad. And they kept doing good stuff. Then against the Lucha Bros in the first AEW show. Okay, all right, good shit. And then just There are people that say that their match against Omega and Page is one of the greatest tag matches of all time. I don't see that at all.
Oh.
I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. And maybe
those are the New Japan marks.
I guess so. They got to be because, like, I don't even know that. I don't know. That's the best. That's the best AEW tag match ever, let alone the best of all time.
Like I said earlier, AEW is a hype job.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's a big hype job by these damn fans.
Mm-hmm. A bunch of disgruntled WWE fans and about 7 New Japan fans.
I just, I keep trying to be like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll see the light one day. I just don't get it.
It is boring.
There are better tag teams on that roster that aren't wrestling for tag titles.
I do this very much often during AEW.
AEW is boring. Like now, the best.
Bro, they just started making Miro something to be fucked with, and he beat up his best friend and then told him, "See what happens when you make me mad." Like, what the fuck is that about?
Why wasn't he like that? Wasn't he a monster when he came in? Why is he blonde and helping his friend get like? He left the WWE for this fucking storyline. Okay, I think but still.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Because remember, he's the one that pushed the idea of Lana Lashley married.
Sorry, yeah. I think he got. Did he get fired? He got released.
He for some reason Russo has a thing with marriages. Rusev has a thing with marriages. I don't know what it is.
But like people looked at that storyline and like did not like it, and you would think he'd look at that and go, "Okay, well, clearly."
That
I should do what works. Instead, we just do it again.
I get it. In WWE, I get it because we're talking about World Wrestling Entertainment. We're talking about sports entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. I get why he would pitch that idea. It would make sense, right? Because it's all entertainment, especially in the world of WWE. But in AEW, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like
people wanted you here to wrestle and beat the shit out of people.
Exactly.
That's not what we're getting. But yeah, so the Bucks beat Seidel's. It was subpar. It was subpar. It wasn't good. Oh shit! Look at who it is, Matty Miz.
Hey, our boy Matty Miz with the Lake Show jersey on.
You some bitch. We're talking about Dynamite right now. So far, we've talked about Cage and Page, and then the Seidel brothers against the Young Bucks. Did you watch Dynamite this week?
Unfortunately, I did.
What did you think of those two matches?
I don't know. I just don't know.
I got the wrong shit on this freaking banner. God damn it.
I don't know what is going on with Dynamite anymore, or that whole company in general. Like
boring,
sucky.
They need a reboot.
Remember how excited I was when it started, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I love AEW. I love AEW." Now it's just I
think we were all excited about it because it was something big.
It was something different,
right?
We were like, "Yo, we get a chance to see guys that we wanted to win get a chance to win."
And now it's just the same shit, except it's the same WWE shit. It's just with a different. It just all this changes the letters.
Yep.
Instead of an extra E, it's just an A. AEWWE.
Yeah.
It's boring. Like you brought Ethan Page in. You broke him. He left a tag team. He left Impact, left a tag team, debuts in the ladder match, doesn't win the ladder match. The guy that wins the ladder match loses his title shot and then enters a tag team with him. So what was the point of hyping both of these guys up as singles competitors if they're going to be in a tag team?
Yeah, like
the Sadal brothers.
I think we've all said that we like Scorpio Sky. And most of us Ethan Page guys, and it's been a waste.
Like, and then in Miro, you hyped him up as the best man. You let him waste all this time, letting him book himself because he loves video games. I love video games too, but I don't really care about that side of him. It's nice that he does all this stuff on Twitch, but I want to see the Bulgarian brute. I want to see the guy that kicks ass, and finally he's doing that. That's cool and all. I still don't like, and this is for Impact and AEW, how this whole storyline with Kenny Omega and Swann when he was a champion. I don't like how nobody in the rest of both of those companies have even bothered caring about that. It's like both of these companies could be losing your world title. That, like, why isn't the rest of the roster caring about this in general?
Impact has, like, they went on social media and they talked a lot of shit. But then AEW didn't do it back, and then we never got anything from it.
You had everybody on Impact saying, "Oh, I can't wait to face the people from AEW," and AEW just sat there.
Along.
And like Mike said, they need a reboot. They need to get their head out of their asses and figure out what they're going to be doing. Like this week coming up is Blood and Guts. Is anybody excited for Blood and Guts?
No.
We were more excited for Blood and Guts, and then the pandemic happened when it was going to be the Elite versus the Inner Circle. Now it's the Inner Circle versus, what are they calling themselves?
The Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle.
I did the results for NXT for Sportskeeda. So it used to be that I couldn't watch Dynamite because I had to watch NXT.
Right.
And I would always think I'd probably switch back and forth. Let's see what would happen.
I did that in the beginning. I don't anymore.
Well, like now that I can watch on Tuesday NXT and then AW's Wednesday.
I skip Wednesday.
I don't care if I don't see Dynamite.
It's like I can watch whatever. I'll see it on Twitter and I'll be like, okay.
The highlights will come up. Then I'll have to see the whole. And I know this is Kenny's boy, but I don't give a shit about this one either. Orange Cassidy versus Pentagon.
That was a good ass match, though.
They have good ass matches, but it's just so random at times.
Right, it really is. That was a really good match. That was a good match, but like you said, I really didn't give a shit about it.
Because it's just like they'll announce their cards, and you'll just be like, "Why is this person?" Like, if I would have seen, I'm like, "Why is Orange Cassidy fighting him?"
Wasn't Pentagon feuding with Cody like a month ago? What happened to that? Where'd that go?
They just have random, and now Cody is just feuding with QT Marshall, which I really don't give a shit about. I'm like, I like Cody Rhodes, but this whole, I'm just kind of just tired of him and Brandy. I'm happy they're having a baby and everything, and I saw someone like compare when Jon Moxley just happened to say, "Oh, Renee is pregnant. I have a pregnant wife at home," and he just dropped that like that. When you have Cody doing a whole pomp and circumstance,
he takes a segment from AEW.
Right, we had a whole segment to reveal the baby gender, and it's like, bruh, I don't care. I really like. I'm happy you're having a baby.
Here's the thing. You know what? You know why they did that with Cody? Because they fucked themselves over with Cody losing that match and never being able to challenge for a championship.
They did that way too early.
Way too.
They did that really way too early. They did not need to do that within the first year of them being in existence.
I was the second pay-per-view that they did that shit.
Yeah, they didn't even need we understand. The crazy thing about all of this.
We knew Cody was going to be a champion. Like, we kind of figured it. Like, we expected it.
And no one's gonna be upset if you won. Because people want Cody to win.
But if you think about it, he's the only person who actually talks about being an executive vice president.
He takes it seriously.
Yeah. He's the only one that comes out there talking about it. The Bucks are EVPs. They don't say nothing about it. Kenny Omega's an EVP. He doesn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
He's just out there.
Cody's character he's an EVP.
He's there. He literally, I run this. No, you don't run the company. It's you and the three others and Tony Khan. It's all of you. It's not just
at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, Tony Khan is actually signing some of y'all checks. So.
Right, y'all. Tony Khan is y'all's boss. At the end of the day.
What did y'all think of the parlay that they did?
I like the promos.
Yeah, me too.
I like the promos. Even
Sean Spears.
Even Cole Commodity.
He did good. He did good.
Cut a pretty decent promo.
Then Sammy fucking murdered him.
Oh, wowza.
Sammy got Sammy. He's been waiting. He's been waiting to do
Sammy said, Sammy said you a bum here and you was a bum at your other job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, he ain't lying.
that was cold blood.
And who was it that brought up Santana and Ortiz's?
Oh, it was FTR.
Yeah, FTR bringing up Santana.
Dax Harwood.
Yeah, you got a beautiful little daughter. Like, no.
That's whoo. There's a lot of fire. A lot of fire in that promo. That was good.
You know how I feel. We can cut ass on each other. You bring up my kid, I'm catching a flight.
Yeah. There's some things you don't do. There's things you don't. And he didn't just say that. He said you'll never see daughter again. He said you'll never see. He said he's going to kill him.
Like that's something like you don't cross the line with, especially with Mitch Hennessy. Mitch Hennessy, I'm gonna slap the taste buds out your mouth. By the time that promo, whether this was planned promo or not, that line ain't approved. That line ain't approved. Don't bring my kids into this.
Right.
Don't bring my kids into this. Don't bring my kids into this.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was like the promos we got were surprisingly good on AEW.
Did you hear what Jericho said after this, like in an interview after all that happened, supposedly? No. So, blood and guts is not the end of this feud.
God damn it! Why was that not the end of the feud? It's blood. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this backwards? Why does AEW do shit backwards? It doesn't make John Moxley and Kenny Omega's first match was an unsanctioned fight to the death. Like, why do they do things in reverse? I don't understand it.
Why? First off, isn't this fucking War Games?
Yes.
Yeah. They can't use War Games. WWE was like, nope, we're keeping this. And they
so basically, Blood and Guts I just wanted to make sure. Blood and Guts is pretty much War Games.
They got some tough
and it's not going to be the end.
Follow. If this is supposed to be the answer to War Games, because War Games we've got from NXT have been pretty fucking good.
War Games that we've gotten from NXT have been better than the original War Games from
legendary.
You got a lot to follow to if you're going to try to say that you're the real War Games, you better follow up.
Because even the women's War Games have been fucking outstanding, bro. We've had a motherfucker put a trash can on her head and jump off the top of that bitch.
This shit was nuts. Last year it was going to involve bow-legged Matt Hardy, which is I guess is a good thing he's out of that match now because
right.
That would not have been great.
He would have died. We saw him die multiple times versus Sammy.
Oh my god. Matt Hardy.
Oh yeah, this is what Jericho said. He said, this is not the end of the story at all. The beginning in a lot of ways. And once again, I like to book ahead. It's more like writing the ideas and then knowing where we're going. It's one of the things about wrestling that's really cool. It's almost like connect the dots because you have to hit this dot to do what you want to do, but then you connect this dot and then this dot, and then sometimes the lines aren't as straight as you originally think. sometimes there are twists and turns, but when you long-term book, at least you know that this dot needs to be hit.
That's
Blood
the
and
big
Guts.
problem.
Blood and
AKA what
Guts
he's
was something that in my original thought was kind of the end, and then it was moved on to more of the beginning, so you kind of rearrange accordingly. I'm really excited about the ideas and the planning. Blood and Guts should be the end.
Yes, it should be the end.
basically what he's saying is, I don't know if y'all can read between the lines. Basically, what he's saying is this isn't the end. The inner circle is going to get back together with MJF as the fucking leader, and he's going to be the champion. That's what he's saying.
This is an even bigger problem. Again, the inmates run the asylum. The inmates run the asylum. Like where are the writers? Where are the writers?
That's the thing is like they try to say like, oh, writers like ruin wrestling. Good writers don't. You know who's got a good creative team? Fucking Impact Wrestling has a good creative. NXT has a good creative team. Ring of Honor to an extent has a good creative team.
This is the same man.
SmackDown has a great creative team.
Look, and what they fail to realize, this is scripted television. Yes,
and right now it looks stupid as hell.
But it's still scripted television. You're on a television network.
Yeah.
You need fucking writers. You need writers.
It's all right.
He's long-term booking, so hopefully it makes sense. However long down the line.
Moxley and Kingston tricked Kenny Omega into doing a tag match, so we're going to see Moxley and Kingston versus Omega and Nakazawa.
He's really tagging with him on TV and not just on AEW Dark and whatever Dark Elevation.
Apparently, it's on TV. Nakazawa. Everybody loves Nakazawa.
I don't.
I'll say this: the part that there was a point in this that actually made me laugh, and it was when Kenny Omega goes, "I got goons. I bring out the goons. Brandon Cutler, come here!" And like Brandon Cutler.
Brandon Cutler is the Elite's bitch. He does all of their dirty work.
And he got bitched out by Jon Moxley. Next up this is something that really I watched this, and the people also will not really like this. Chris Statlander versus Penelope Ford. It wasn't great, but you know what? Penelope Ford, not terrible.
Right.
Not good either.
Not good, but like not as bad as I.
Not good either.
Well, like there have been
not good either.
Here's the thing. There have been names that have been talked about in a very negative way. I heard people talk about Jade Cargill and say she was terrible. I don't see that. I think she's pretty great. Jade Cargill is your next top star. I've heard people say Penelope Ford is fucking horrible. And in this match, she did fine. Like, she did good.
I've heard
it wasn't great.
Chris Statlander is terrible.
Not good either.
I was just expecting it to be shit because I've heard so much better about Penelope Ford. And the only things I've seen from her were the Kip Miro segments.
Right.
But I was impressed that this wasn't the drizzling shits. I was expecting Dana Brooke.
Oh, God. And she might be a future women's tag team champion.
Dana Brooke is going into the Hall of Fame, bro. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Every time I said Dana Brooke, I see Mike's eyes go like I see the thought in your head.
Yeah, I mean, he loves her, but he's like, she sucks.
But also Statlander is. I have yet to see what people see in Statlander.
She sucks.
I don't see it.
She can't wrestle.
I got something to say. To say.
Okay.
Next match, boring. Fell asleep on it twice.
The Nightmare Family? This one or the next one?
Both of these.
The Nightmare Family versus the Factory. We'll just
fuck that.
That was fucking terrible. Okay. Final. The final match.
Berserker, baby. The Berserker. Don't you disrespect the Berserker.
So on this show, out of 2 hours of wrestling, maybe 2 or 3 segments so far. The TNT Championship match: Darby Allin versus Preston Vance.
I'm tired of him as TNT champion.
Okay, okay, here we go.
Was this a good match? Yes.
Good match, yes.
But
Darby Allin is supposed to be a face, correct?
He's something.
yes. Well,
Ripping
I mean,
apart.
they don't believe in faces and heels in AEW. That's their defense every time. It's like, well, no one's really a face or a heel.
Darby is supposed to. He's a face.
He's supposed to be a face.
Right.
Yeah. I don't care what Cody says. That shit, it's vital. You have to have good and bad.
The man is doing nothing but heel moves in his matches now.
Like,
he tore open the mask. Sting is going after the Dark Order for no reason.
The Dark, I guess the Dark Order
didn't even get involved in the match.
No.
Sting came out and wanted to start fights. For what?
So are they basically? So I guess they're teasing that Darby is becoming more dark.
And like you said, Matt, it's enough is enough with Darby being the champ. It was good to get the belt on him.
It was a nice moment. He upset Cody and all that. He did the tag match with Sting.
He shouldn't have been champion longer than that.
He shouldn't even had it. After that, he should have already lost that belt. That instead of having Cage walk around with that fake ass FTW belt, put the TNT title on him, and he could actually be a recognized fucking champion instead of just walking around looking like us with our fantasy titles, with our predictions.
Hey, watch your mouth, damn it! Still real to some of us.
Hey, I mean, it's still, but that's what Brian Cage is. That's what Taz is telling us. It's still a real title. Damn it. But listen, Taz, that ain't no real title, bro.
Taz got bitched up by Christian during this show. For some reason,
in front
of his kid. Like, damn.
You know how I feel. In front of my kid, now I got to slap you. I'm catching flights and slapping.
That's the other thing. Kenny's like, that's kind of a heelish thing to do, wasn't it? That was kind of a heelish thing to do. Like,
AEW just needs to they have a bloated roster. They have a bloated roster. They need to get rid of some people.
AEW needs to hire some writers.
But Preston Vance looked good in this.
10 looks real good. 10 has been looking good for the longest.
They keep saying he was the chosen one from Brody. I can see why. Why. There's a lot of potential in him.
I saw something where it said John Silver doesn't want anyone to take over as leader of the Dark Order.
I believe it. I really feel like they're at a crossroads.
At this point, you either have someone take that leader position or you break these guys up.
I mean, someone has to be the leader.
Right.
At this point, someone has to be the leader or you break these guys up. And if you break these guys up, then you put them in that jumbled ass singles bracket that you have already. And we heard what Matty Bishop just says.
Let's ruin all the goodwill we have with Brody by putting in a possible rapist. That's gonna work out well.
Hey, the man still be working out. He be putting up his pictures on IG.
No, I will say this. I'm surprised no one has to work with him yet.
Like, he's just
I'm
chilling.
very surprised.
He's being smart. He got let go, and he ain't saying nothing. He just puts pictures up of working out and all that. He's doing the right thing. He's just letting time pass. He's eventually going to either show back up in ROH, which I doubt, or he's going to show up in AEW.
He's going to show up with his homies.
So at the end of the match, Preston puts on that full Nelson, and Darby sells it like death for a good 5 seconds. I thought he was going to break his back.
Of course.
I thought the ref pretty much counted him out. Like,
I thought so too.
Like the ref said that he was like incapacitated anymore.
I could have sworn I saw him do the hand.
And then next thing we know, monkey flip. And anytime somebody does that shit, like every time somebody has like a chokehold or something on somebody and they go back and the person rolls back, Let go of the fucking move.
Right.
When I think who was it? It was Bret Hart and Bret Hart. I think it was Roddy Piper. I can't remember where it was, but it's for the IC Championship, and that's how Bret Hart beat Roddy Piper. And it's like this big, like, such a classic moment. But after the first time, yeah, let go of the hold. Let go of the hold.
If I got you in the chokehold and you rolling up to the point where let me let this fucking chokehold go kick out, beat your ass some more, fucking choke you again, like.
Because like if you let go,
why would you hold?
He's not gonna get up and just be full of fire. He's had him in a hold for 15 seconds.
Right.
He's dazed. He's done.
And at what point do you not realize your shoulders are on the mat? You're laying down. You went from sitting up to laying down.
You hear the ref going, like you hear the pin.
Let go. Let go.
After the match, they hold up Brody's band to show, hey, Darby's still a good guy. He's still fine. And then Dark Order leaves, and Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky beat them up.
Oh, boy.
Again, Ethan Page fan. I think we're all Scorpio Sky fans. What the fuck's happening here? Who's are one of them going to beat Darby? I don't think so. Probably not.
Right. They're both going to lose this thing in Darby.
Mm-hmm.
So Sting continues to put younger talent down.
Ethan Page, what sense did you make leaving Impact if you're going to go to a company that has a working relationship with them?
And he talks shit about Impact.
Right, especially after that last match and how you fucking flipped and like, I didn't want it like this. Why go to a company that's got a working Impact?
Relationship? He did that, and Cage. Both of them.
Well, Cage was left on good terms. Like, Cage left on good terms. Cage didn't talk shit about Impact. But Page did. Ethan Page really tore into Impact. You would think he would just go to NXT.
Makes sense. He goes to NXT. If Ethan Page would have went to NXT, he's North American champion within a month.
I think he would be in the LA Knight spot, but better.
Right.
I also think if Ethan Page goes there, they don't hire LA Knight.
Not one bit.
LA Knight would be on Dynamite.
Because Ethan Page is now the Justin's not here. Ethan Page is a better LA Knight.
Yeah.
Because LA Knight's great at talking. Ethan Page is great at talking and wrestling.
And looking believable.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just every time I see someone go to AEW, I'm kind of worried. It's like watching someone go to Raw. Fuck. Okay.
It's worse. It's worse because it's like you already got all these other people. You just got. It's basically like when you were a kid and you already had a whole bunch of toys, and then you get that new bright shiny toy, and you just say to fuck the rest of your toys. So that's what happens. Oh, we have Ethan Page. Ethan Page is great. Oh, what? Got Christian. Fuck Ethan Page. Got Christian. Then whoever the new little hotness is. Oh, bye, Christian. You're on AEW Dark now, and they'll be a new person.
Hey, we got Samoa Joe. He'll hang out with maybe Orange Cassidy or something. I don't fucking know. The biggest free agent signing in AEW history.
Guess
what?
It was Paul White. He's gone.
And anyone they get from WWE is going to do the exact same promo. I'm here to get the brass ring every fucking time. Mm-hmm. Same promo, same 2-week start, and then
listen.
Nothing.
You better believe soon enough we're going to see Fiji Jim show up.
Fiji Jim.
Because there ain't going to be some more.
I think his ass is, if he's smart, he's going to take his ass to Impact. Take your ass, show up at Slammiversary.
Beat Kenny for the belt.
Just beat some ass. And beat some ass and don't get concussed.
All right, so before we end the show, I want to ask y'all this question. I talked about this throughout the show. Who will be the one to dethrone Kenny Omega for the Impact Wrestling Championship?
If we
my three are Moose, Trey Miguel, and Brian Cage.
I'm gonna go Moose, Brian Cage. If they sign Samoa Joe.
Okay.
And my wild card that I'm gonna throw out there, Chris Bay.
Oh, okay. I'd like it to be Bay, actually. That'd be pretty cool. Matt, what about you?
To dethrone Omega for which belt? Impact or
Impact?
Impact. Okay.
You get 3 picks.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going Samoa Joe because I think Samoa Joe is showing up. So Moose, Joe, and Trey Miguel.
All right. Moose seems to be the common denominator here.
Watch it end up being fucking Eddie Edwards.
Motherfucker.
Bootleg ass Dean Ambrose.
It's gonna be fucking crazy, Steve. I keep telling y'all, man. Don't sleep on my boy.
Dude, we're all gonna love it. It's gonna be Johnny Swinger.
That would be fucking awesome.
I'm going to scream from the fucking mountaintops if Johnny Swinger.
If Johnny Swinger beats Kenny Omega with that belt, I will be the happiest man in the world.
They're gonna be like black man.
If Johnny Swinger beats Kenny Omega for the belt, we're going streaking.
I was just about to say. I was like, they're gonna be like black man in the BX streaking. They're like, oh, that's an everyday thing. I'm like, oh, I know who that was.
Right. And I'm gonna have this I'm gonna rip this part of the hot rod t-shirt off and put it across my ass as I'm running, streaking.
Like, we don't know what happened, but we heard the man just go, Swing Man! Get the spirits!
Blizzard!
We're going to Swingers Palace!
Oh, imagine that celebration. It's gonna be so many Rizettes.
All the Rizettes. All the Rizettes and the Brizzods. Shit.
Like I just feel like it's like, oh, it's gonna be this person, it's gonna be this person, and they're just gonna fuck us over. They're just gonna fuck us over.
I like Eddie Edwards, but like I really hope it's not Eddie Edwards.
Guys, let's keep it a buck.
Big Cass, it's gonna be Big Cass.
It's gonna be Jake.
No, not William.
Jake something. You know what? Okay.
That's gonna be Eric Young, broken, fucked up leg and all.
Matt, I will cheer for Eric Young.
Or Joe Doring.
Oh God. What if
Did you ever see Breaking Bad, Kenny?
Yeah.
He looks like old dude in the wheelchair when he's about to blow the chair up.
Yeah.
That's gonna be Joe Doring about 20, 30 years. If he just this is just.
I'm just trying to think who else really.
I think it has to be Moose, just because Moose has
that star potential.
It's that, and like aside from Rich Swann, I don't think he's lost a match in like a year, like a singles match in over a year.
And he's the only one that has that main title swag to him right now.
Yeah, he's got the entrance, he's got the look, he's got the ability. He's a threatening. He's threatening. Like, I don't care about that lisp. When he threatens someone, you think it's real.
And the rule is Omega has to be on Impact every week, right?
Or he's stripped of the belt, which is why I think it's going to be a short reign.
Right.
And which is why I'm telling you he's going to be stripped of the TNA title.
Yeah, Kenny's thinking he's going to lose the TNA belt, not the Impact belt. Which I guess they never really officially unified them. Rich is just
they unified them. That was supposed to be. They didn't.
No.
That match was a unification.
No, that was just a champions versus champions match.
It was
when they introduced Rich Swann, they always say the Impact and TNA champion.
Oh my god!
They were saying that
because I had to catch myself when I read the results. I'm like, he's the Impact unified. No, he's not.
He's the Impact. The Impact and Kenny Omega is the AEW Impact and TNA champion.
And a Triple A.
Oh wait, no. On their website, it says Impact. It said Rich Swann versus Moose, in a game-changing world title unification match.
But
That's what they said at the show. But he was called the Impact Wrestling and TNA World Champion.
Oh my God! Just kill that damn belt.
That's the belt that's going to get one back, and it's going to be with the help of Dixie Carter.
Oh God!
Oh motherfucker! Don't say that name.
No, she commented. They shared something about like when Omega won, and she said something. Someone was like, "Please go away and don't come back." I was like, "Damn."
Guys, I know who's beating Kenny Omega. J.E. Double J. Double F.
Oh my God.
J.A.
The
Double
King of the
R.
Mountain's back, baby. The King of the Mountain's back.
Double T.
My world.
Gonna be with my baby tonight.
You know
Don't
what?
want to hear your big mouth
Oh
talking.
my God.
World.
That's how they're gonna ruin this. Kenny Omega is not gonna lose it by getting pinned or submitted.
He's just gonna give it up. No. He's
gonna lose it in a King of the Mountain match. They're gonna bring back the King of the Mountain, and Kenny's gonna lose it by not getting pinned.
The X Division matches.
The Ultimate X.
Ultimate X.
They will find a way to do it where he doesn't get pinned or submitted, which will
like they did last
really
week.
suck.
They're gonna do the Lashley. Like Lashley lost the U.S. belt.
Yep.
And then the next thing, later that night, he was world champ.
Yeah.
They're gonna find a way to make sure Omega is there. He ain't gonna lose it, and then that'll be his whole claim. That'll be his whole claim. I didn't get pinned. I didn't lose, and he might challenge it, and then that person, whoever's champion, is gonna get that pin, and they're gonna be a made man because they'll be able to say they.
I don't know if they get the pin. I think once he loses it, that's it.
All this sounds good for the TNA title.
Oh God! If it's a TNA title, that's definitely going to Eddie Edwards.
Oh, this sounds real good for the TNA title that y'all putting together. I'm liking that.
Nah, it's gonna be good old Dick Kick City.
Oh, that would be great.
Bryan Masters with a roster cut.
It's Mojo.
Kenny, don't
what? Watch.
Don't.
Mojo's gonna come, and by July, Mojo is gonna be a serious Dexter Loomis type character that's gonna come out and just wreck shit and beat up Kenny Omega. I'm telling you.
Man, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. It's not okay. It's not cool.
What's going on?
So Kenny's trying to say that Mojo is going to be Omega for the world title.
Oh God.
Yep.
It ain't cool.
It's going to be Omega.
All right, Mike. Who are your three?
With Enzo as his manager.
Oh God.
Ooh.
Mike, who are your three that are going to beat Omega for the Impact World title?
I mean, the TNA World title. Let's get it right, folks.
Moose.
We all say Moose. Okay.
Yeah, Moose. Moose needs a belt. Like he needs
the real belt.
I need a real belt, and I need him whooping Omega's ass on Dynamite. Moose. The more I think about it, we talked about it earlier. I like Brian Cage. If they're gonna go this route, I'm gonna go with Brian Cage. That's the wild card, and Pac.
Ooh, take Trey off. I have another person instead of Trey. I'm pulling a loophole.
I'm about to pull a loophole too. Who you got?
I'm picking fucking Cody because he can't challenge for the AEW title, but he can challenge for that Impact title.
Oh, shit. That's a good idea, Matt. That's a good idea.
I got somebody else I want to throw in the mix that I think is going to beat Omega. And this person is going to take the AEW, the Impact, the and the TNA championship with him back to Japan. My boy, Samoan Seth.
Ooh, I'm waiting on them.
Now you're just fantasy booking.
I think they're gonna show up. They're showing up soon. They're gonna be. I think what's gonna happen. The door the forbidden door is gonna be reopened because they're gonna talk some shit. They're gonna talk fan juice into challenging those titles. They're gonna beat their ass in Japan, and then that's when they're gonna show up. They're gonna show up when the super elite are beating somebody's ass, they're gonna show up with those new with the Impact tag titles. That's how they're gonna get the Impact. They're gonna beat Finjuice over in Japan.
Oh yeah, they are. But damn it, that Cody pick actually makes a lot of sense. Fuck,
Cody can't challenge for the AEW. He lost that.
That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Make short work of QT and that little bullshit.
And he's still a world champion.
Kenny Omega keeps talking this shit, and Cody comes out like, "Yo, I can't challenge for this belt, but I can challenge."
Cody didn't leave Impact
for
on
that
bad terms either.
He didn't.
He could literally say, he could be like, "I can't challenge for this one."
Shit! And you know what they just put up on YouTube, on Impact's YouTube, the Cody versus Moose match for the, I think it was.
They sure did.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh,
good pick, Matt. Good pick.
Man, that might be the one.
Hey, you know what else that means? Points for resolution.
Now I hope you lose.
Yep, that's in the league, bitch.
God damn it! I'm so mad at that makes sense. I never even thought of that. God,
it just hit me. I was like, wait, Cody can't challenge for the other belt.
Man,
challenge for that.
Not gonna be mad if they don't do it. It's like that. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it because it makes sense.
Well, yeah, we have seen that AEW's booking is not the best.
AEW doesn't know how to make sense with their lives.
Well, I think that's the majority of the important shit. There's no pay-per-views coming up, so there's no worrying about booking at the moment.
I think when's WrestleMania Backlash?
Another 2-3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's close to the end of the month.
R.I.P. to Daniel Bryan. He got murdered.
Yeah, he's dead.
He got super murdered.
Roman beat the fuck out of him.
He concerto that man. He made sure he was dead. He was like, "Oh, I beat him, and I'm gonna kill him." Concerto.
That's why Roman is the best heel in the business.
Oh, speaking of that, the music fucking rocks.
I love the music.
The title is called The Chosen One.
Dude, that is great.
I love that.
Get it? The Chosen One
sucks.
Kick him off. Kick him off. Kick him off.
I was talking to
Fucking sucks.
Actually, Mike. I was talking to Mike about he muted himself. I was talking to Mike about it. The reaction on social media has been you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between. There's just right down the middle.
It was the way they went about it was so perfect. That was a great because this Friday was literally a turning point to me with this whole thing for Rome. It was a turning point. He stack him. He did that little slick line, stack him and all that, pin him, slack him, all that, and he's like, I'm putting DB out of his misery. I'm getting rid of him. New music to match his mindset.
Supposedly, they've been working on that music since his return.
I'm sure they've gone through a lot of
in the summer.
And he was
since
just
his return, since the summer, they've been working on that music.
Supposedly. That wouldn't surprise me. And I'm sure they went through a lot of things, and he's like, "No, that's not it.
Because you need
something. That can't be it."
And you could tell that he was feeling it. He hit all his points, all his marks perfectly when he walked there to it. He was hitting them just as good with that Shield theme, but we've been hearing the Shield. Donna.
It's really like it's getting kind of tired of it, especially if you don't hear the
Sierra
Hotel
Indian Echo Lima Delta Shield.
Yeah,
it's like
it was time. It was.
When I heard it, I said, when I heard it, it was a good 7 years for that Shield thing. It's been a good 7 years. We didn't need to hear that. It was gonna be time for it to go.
When Roman goes in the Hall of Fame, it'll probably be with that theme.
Right.
So right now, let's just enjoy this one.
Like this is the perfect time to retire that theme. Seth had a whole bunch of themes.
The song sucks. It really, really sucks.
And if there anybody that might disagree with us, then I will do this to you.
The Shield theme being gone will make that Shield reunion, if it ever happens again, that more sweeter.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen again. So yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything that happened the past few weeks. We will, God damn it, we will be back next week. Actually, no, next week is Mother's Day. What are you doing for Mother's Day?
No, we will not be here for Mother's Day. No.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No.
You guys are trying to think for like something for this week, like Impact.
You know what? Here's the
thing.
thing. Check this out. Let's do it Wednesday since no one gives a fuck about AEW.
I'm fine with that. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, we'll pick back up on Wednesday. We'll have a few shows to talk about, and we can shit on AEW the entire night. We're gonna become that podcast. Oh shit. You know what? Who cares? Fuck 'em. Anyway, you can follow us at twitch.tv/UnderTheRingPod. You can follow us at facebook.com/UnderTheRingPod. You can follow me at twitter.com/GregBushSK. Mike is on the Mike Productions. He's got his YouTube channel. Mike, do you have any other things you want to plug? Facebook, Twitter?
On the Mic will resume in the summer. Just been going through some things, but On the Mic will return this summer. Return date to be announced.
Okay. All right. Keep checking out our page, the Under the Ring podcast page. We'll talk about on the Mic as well when Mike is ready to bring it back. Until then, it's been a good few weeks. Thanks for following along with us, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you Wednesday. Until then, on behalf of everybody here, this has been Mongo, Under the Ring podcast, out.